All right, y'all. We're back once again. Episode 9, Coastal Concierge Group Podcast. If any of you all caught it last month, you know that I had the hardest working man in show business, or as I like to call him that, my homeboy, Julian. This month, we're going to lead off with actually a friend. We both know Julian, but I'm going to have to give her the moniker of hardest working woman in show business because she is doing it all. So, guys, help me welcome Marquita Bianca Castano.
Oh, give him a drum roll.
Did I get it right?
All three.
I got it?
All
I got
three.
it?
All three.
So, first off, let's start by getting into your name because for the longest, I thought that your first name was your first and last name. So just break it down for everybody what we got going on.
Right. So Marquita Bianca is my first name. It's like Mary Beth. I was born in Austin, Texas. My mom almost named me Dallas. By the way, we just won't even go there. We won't even go there. The season's sad. So I'm happy that didn't happen. However, comma and but, Marquita Bianca is something that is a conversation piece. I don't make people say the entire thing, and it is a lot. But I do love it. I do love my name, and I feel like everybody's using double names now.
Names, yeah.
Like you look on Facebook and it used to be like, hey, Mary, I do my thing, Jenkins. And now it's, Mary Michelle, it's a new thing. So
I like
new
it.
normal.
I like it. So look, just so I can keep my sanity and remember, because I don't want your mom getting mad at me.
She will. You need to say it every time. She says, no, it is Marquita. And she has the eyebrows. My mom is Italian, and the eyebrows go up, so you don't want to make her upset. But MB is just fine
we're gonna go
for
with
time
MB
purposes,
just to make sure we get it right. We don't get on mom's bad side. So, like I was saying, to me, you got a lot going on. I don't know how you do it. I don't know. There's that many hours in the day. Let's just start off. Let's see. Editor-in-chief for therunwayauthority.com, which for those of y'all that don't know, that is a digital fashion publication that actually covers fashion show and news around the world.
Yeah.
Also, she's the director of Baila Fuzion Dance and Creative Arts Center. Did I say it right?
You said it right.
I be practicing. I be saying it. Now, for those of y'all that don't know, her building is actually right next to our building.
We're neighbors.
She's neighbor, and that's how we actually met. Let me see. You were dropping packages off or picking them up or something like that.
And I just wave because I'm grateful that my packages have somewhere to go.
I think we waved across the parking lot for like 6 or 7 months before we many months. It was just like,
yeah.
Hey. Also, you also sit on the board of directors for a nonprofit foundation.
Yeah.
Let's see, serving special needs families and senior citizens in our community. I got to catch my breath. So I don't know how you keep up because just saying all that. So you got a lot of things going on. Clearly, that's your forte. Now, the funny part is we were talking one day and you told me when you actually first went to school, you went to school to study veterinary medicine?
Yes. And that's how I got my puppy. I was just hell-bent on the fact that I was going to introduce myself to you and say, Dr. Marquita Bianca Castano, make it even longer. I mean, if we're going for it, we might as well, completely stretch. And I just knew that was going to happen. And very, very long story short, on my 21st birthday, my girlfriend said, hey, let's go out and do a salsa dance. Like, let's go take a lesson. And I'm like, I can't. I've got to study. I can't hang out with you people that don't take your college education seriously. And she was like, girl, if you don't just put your shoes on and come out and go salsa dancing. So I did. And I danced every day pretty much since then. And I want to say probably it took me a while to get rid of the fact that I was not going to be Dr. Marquita Bianca Castano and really accept the fact that, you know what, this is probably going to be a really cool job. And I went home and I remember to this day, I told my mom, my very Italian mom, hey, Mom, I am going to not only change my major, but drop out of school and I'm going to become a dancer. And for about a good solid 10 minutes, I let her think about what dancer meant, which we can all think about what I was letting her think about what dancer meant. And she was just like, I don't understand. What do you mean? I'm like, Mom, it's salsa dancing. She was like, that's even worse. Who salsa dances for a living? So I met my director in DC because after going out that one night when I was supposed to be at home, studying because I'm serious, I met my director in DC because everybody said, all the good dancers go to DC. Like if you're serious and you want to be really good, you need to go to DC. And I was like, oh, what is this DC you speak of? Like, let's do this. So on a weekend, I went, and a guy asked me to dance, and I was like, clearly, you're just trying to hit on me. He was like, how long have you been dancing? And I was like, a couple months, it's fun, but I'm studying to be Dr. Marquita Bianca. It was not Castano back then, of course. And so he was like, okay, well, you're pretty good. We're having auditions for our company. So if you want to come out and try out, like, why not? And I was like, okay, you're really trying to hit on me. I'm really not that good. I went to the auditions. I made it principal dancer, joined the company, and drove for 2 years, every Tuesday and Thursday for rehearsals from here while I worked in the hospital. So Monday, I work at the hospital till 5. I get off, I rest. Tuesday, work in the hospital, leave at 5 o'clock, drive up to DC, rehearse for 2 hours, stay and go to the barking dog because that's just kind of what you do, and then drive back home. I was on Interstate 64 at 4 a.m. Then I go back to the hospital 8 a.m. and just kind of do that twice a week. That was the 20s. That was my 20s. Whew, that was a lot of Red Bull. It was a lot of Red Bull.
That was first, I know, right?
Yeah.
First 3 years. Let me see. You went from veterinary student, professional salsa dancer at 21. At what point did you say, I'm really going to make like a career out of this? This is going to be my livelihood.
When I got tired of driving to DC, that 2 years in, it was difficult a lot of times. I learned how to change my first, tire myself on the side of the road in pouring rain on the way to DC. It was a lot of life lessons. And I said, you know what? I really enjoy this. I figured there can be more to this than just what I'm making it. Like, it's more than just going to the barking dog afterwards. It's more than just, going up and training. And by the way, I had to pay my own dues. Like, they didn't take it easy on me because I was coming like, y'all, I'm an out of towner. I had to pack a bag lunch to be here. Okay, that's fine. Pay your dues on the first of the month. And, but at that point in time, I was able to do that myself. So I didn't have to ask my mom. It wasn't like a kind of like competition, style dance thing. I was like, okay, I'm putting my money towards it, and I can either make this something and let those dollars do something, or I can, kind of continue to run myself ragged because it gets to be that.
Gotcha. How long did you end up doing being a professional dancer? How long did that whole thing?
Well, I'm still a professional dancer, so I still get calls and bookings for things. It's just my day looks a little bit different because of directing over everything that you mentioned before.
Gotcha.
So it's just not 100. But back then it was literally just salsa and just dancing. My first job here, I worked with the Sandler Center. Do you remember Why Not Wednesday?
I do.
I miss Why Not Wednesday. So I hosted Why Not Wednesday for 2 years. But Tracy Deering, that worked for the Sandler Center many moons ago, she gave me like my first dance job. I'll never forget. I always give her credit for it. But I worked for a restaurant here that will remain nameless because they're not in business anymore. And so I begged her. I'm like, Tracy, I'm a dancer and I can teach people, and let me know, just give me a chance. And so she was like, okay. So she called me one day and she was like, hey, so we've got this 400-person volunteer dinner. Do you want to come and teach them a lesson? And I was like, okay. Well, our restaurant was catering it. I show up with my partner. The restaurant never put the order in. Do you know how hard it is to ask you to dance when you're hangry?
Ooh.
Hangry. So I stayed probably about maybe 45 minutes longer than we were booked for. And at the end, the food did come very, very late. And Tracy said, you know what? I will hire you for every single thing that I have.
I was going to say, I'm sure you turned it out.
Oh, man. I was like, look, you are going to like this redhead girl. Let me tell you what's about to happen. Yeah. So we ended up having fun. And so after that, I taught senior dance at the Sandler for 10 years.
Wow. So here's one thing that I always find interesting. When you first opened Baila Fuzion, that was what, 2013?
2013 we
Inside
opened.
A juice bar?
Yeah. That's still the juice bar on Holland Road next to
Planet
Fitness. Yeah.
Where exactly did y'all dance in there?
Every crevice and corner that we could. It was chaotic, but it was the most fun. We stayed there literally until we busted out the seams. We could only have, of course, one thing going on at a time. We had dance socials. We had workshops. Everything that we do in our building now, we did in that 600 square foot space. The difference is that now we can, instructors, we see each other working in the building at the same time, and it's crazy. It's nostalgic. We're like, hey, you're here. we can all teach at the same time. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because let me see, 5 years later was around 2018. I think that's when
Yeah.
we first started doing
Our
waves
waves,
across the
our
parking
pageant
lot.
waves.
You guys did move into that. Now you're in a, what, 2,500 square
Yeah.
foot building. Y'all got a lot of stuff going on there. Let me
We
see.
do.
You got hair salon, media room, school now?
Yeah, an academic division.
Okay. So what are kind of the goals of all the businesses that you guys got going on in there?
You know, that's a good question. I find myself, when I sit down to goal set, it almost happens backwards because we're doing two things.
Working backwards.
Yeah, we're doing two things. We're filling the need as we see it, because that's how the academic division came along. When COVID hit, we realized that, I mean, not only for us, we had to not only pivot, but we had to split, turn around, 5, 6, 7, go the other way. There had to be some serious changes, not only in the way that we relay the information to our students, but also how we support our parents and those that are guardians over the people who attend and receive education from us. So along with that, our special needs children, who are dear to my heart, them sitting in front of a computer to do their academic classwork was not an option.
Yeah.
I think we all know that. We all know that there are things in the system that we need to fix. And my heart goes out to everyone in our public school system, because as a director of the small cog that I have, I don't have all the answers. Yeah. I can only imagine how parents feel when you know that there are 28 students in your child's class. And now we have to talk about sitting 6 feet away from each other. Our school, even when we opened, we don't have more than 10 kids per class, more than 10 students, whether they're our age or whether they're 3. So when COVID hit, we didn't have to change the process and base of how we set up our system. We just, of course, needed to abide by what the governor said, wear a mask and, all of those types of things.
You guys really didn't have to shut down at all during that time,
we did not have to, but we did, of course, according to the governor's orders. The funny thing is that we're put in the category of the larger performing arts centers.
Okay.
So it's kind of one of those things. We went from the 600 square feet to the 25, but now being 25, we're lumped in, which is a compliment, and I'm excited, but the planning for it's definitely different.
Whew. I'm telling you, I don't know how you do it all. And so in the midst of all that, 2017, you became a fashion editor.
I know.
Now, so that's what really intrigues me, because our area really isn't known for fashion per se.
Right.
How did you really end up in that sector?
So with dance, I mean, from costumes, dance has so much fashion ingrained in it. I think we can even, let's talk about Beyonce's visual album that just came out. She used mostly up-and-coming designers, which is super cool. I love that, more and more opportunities are coming available for designers. But with us performing, we always need something shiny. We need something custom. We need something tailored. And so I've always been involved in fashion the same way I think that my heart always loved dance, even though I just knew that my world was going to be veterinary medicine. Yeah. So even though I saw something, it just evolved into something else. And that's exactly how this new job came. And I was actually approached by the Runway Authority to become the fashion editor. So I started a blog, which is the most cliche thing, right? Everyone's starting blogs. Yeah. But I think it's cool. If you want to start a blog, you need to be doing it. We all need to be online. We need to have a presence.
Which is funny because I'm not into fashion. But obviously, clearly, I
you
follow you.
Always look clean when you come out. I'm waving. I'm like, okay, collar, okay. Yeah.
I tried to do something a little snazzy today because I knew I was going to be talking to you. But it's funny because that's, I'm not really in that, but I read your blog, I listen to your podcast, and I'm oh. So now I'm like, I'm going to follow just so you know.
I appreciate it.
So you got the YouTube channel too, where we can really kind of follow you in your travels. I think the one that really hit me was not too long ago. You went to Memphis or something like that.
I did. My first time in Memphis.
Was it?
Memphis is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's of course it was Memphis during COVID. So let's preface by saying that, because Memphis during COVID it's a completely different situation. But it was really cool. I shot a commercial for GoDaddy, so that'll be coming out pretty soon. When the GoDaddy people press publish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited. So
I'm pretty sure you'll probably have a link to it though. So
I
we'll make sure
will.
we catch
So
it.
when it becomes, it's a really cool commercial too. We shot at the Stax Museum, which I had never been there.
Okay.
I had never been there. Yeah.
So obviously your journey's been amazing. What would you say one of the greatest lessons you've learned so far during this whole this lifetime?
I think to never put yourself in a box. We always tell other people not to put us in a box, but when you say that about yourself, it's a really powerful thing because you can really evolve into whatever you want. I think when I started my YouTube channel, it was letting people know that my world of a fashion editor doesn't really look like maybe what you think it is. Like I don't even go in the front door of certain buildings. So I don't get out the car where they're flashing all the cameras. I think I have maybe seen the front of the building maybe once or twice. My photographers are always telling me, Kita, you should go out and you should, see and then wave to the guys and da-da-da. And I'm like, well, I'm here to do my job. So I sneak in the back door and I do all of my things, that way. And I know when I was Googling, I couldn't find anybody that really showed me how that's supposed to look. And so I think it's super, super important that we make sure that we show people how we want things to be seen, how we give our perspective, because you're going to get perspective from everybody out in the world right now. I mean, we can be honest. Yeah. There's politics, there's news. We're going to see everybody else's reality. But you should show them what yours looks like. And we should dream a little bit. Like, I'm a glitter girl. Minus the red hair. But I am, in my heart of hearts, I'm a glitter girl. I believe that you can do anything that you put your mind to. And dancing at 21, can we talk about, that's ancient.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't have to agree with me.
I mean, I don't know nothing about it.
Kidding.
I'm listening with you.
No, I joke with my kids because in the day where you can become famous off of TikTok at like 8 years old, starting a dance career at the age of 21 is really ancient. Your bones are starting to pop. We just age faster than everybody else.
Now, you guys do have dancers who are older and you still do things like that, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Every person that comes into our facility, if you want to dance, as far as you want to take it, I'm on that journey with you. Yeah. So we have had dancers that start off at the age of 60 and they perform their first time at 66. Like, let's do this.
Let's go.
There's no reason that we can't do it.
I love it. Well, Marquita MB. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to say Marquita Bianca. Mom, don't get mad at me.
No, it's okay. You're good. You said it and it was right and you got it once and it's perfect.
Well, she got it. Hey, thank you so much. Like I said, we could do this for days. We're gonna have to come back and go a little bit deeper, especially on the fashion. I think I just saw that you did. There was a fashion show here in Hampton Road?
There was a fashion show here. Shout out to Dapper Luke. He is actually going across the sea to Africa to debut his collection. I know. He's doing some things. Shout out to you. Good friend of mine.
I love it. So just tell everybody where we can find you a little bit more. I know obviously MarquitaBianca.com.
Yeah.
What's your YouTube handle?
I am Marquita Bianca everywhere.
Everywhere. I like it.
It makes it nice and easy. Yeah.
There we go. Well, thank you so much for coming through. Man, you've done a lot since the age of 21, so
thank you.
We're definitely gonna have to stay in touch. So everybody, let's give it up for Marquita Bianca.
Thanks,
Castano.
y'all.
Look at that.
I appreciate it.
Love it. So speaking of 21, our next guest is coming up, and man, she's got a story to tell too. So let's see, Alyssa, come on over to the chair. Alyssa.
Ron Pittman.
How you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. How are you?
So I'm loving it. So, guys, like I said, this is Alyssa Moseberth. I'm missing one too. It's
Hicks.
A lot of names. Hicks. I knew it. Everybody got 3-4
There's
names.
three,
Just for me, Alyssa Moseberth Hicks. Mm-hmm. So, Clyburn Insurance.
Yes,
Let's see. Head of business development. Now a licensed agent yourself.
Yes.
How you doing, ma'am?
I'm good. Busy, like all of y'all are.
I know. So, little fun fact for y'all.
Melissa.
I always do that. I think I do that once every time we see each other. I call you. I go, meh. But no, Alyssa's family actually owns Moseberth's Chicken in Portsmouth, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. Look, Nicole back there saying what? If you ain't never been, you need to go. So shout outs to Moseberth Chicken.
Airline Boulevard.
And there it is. There it is. So this has always been the question I ask you. How you go from the chicken kingdom to insurance? Like what prompted that?
Well, I was never at the restaurant.
Yeah.
I've always been around it, but they've going to be open 80 years in April, so that's a long
Wow.
time in the
Big
same
ups to them.
building.
Yeah.
But I just got into. I'm going on my 3rd year in the insurance
Mm-hmm.
business. I love it. I love meeting all the real estate agents and loan officers and helping all the clients. I got into it because my cousin, he's in insurance, so
Okay.
he introduced me to Tom.
Awesome.
And it's just gone up from there.
Well, I love it because then y'all got introduced to us.
I know.
And here we are. So like I stated earlier, and I don't know if y'all even caught that, Alyssa's 21.
Yep.
21. So there's a lot of people your age who are either headed to class right now, maybe even recovering from last night. But here you are with us. I mean, what motivates you to get up in the morning, to do this when you could be doing so many other things, at your age? I mean, I just feel like you're just a consummate hustler. How you do it?
I don't feel like school was really ever my thing, even in high school. Never really was interested in going off to college because I just feel like you're paying for the party most of the time unless you have something you really wanted to do.
True.
And I didn't. I just
Especially
wanted to
today.
go work. Yeah. Everybody that I know, they're probably not going to use that degree unless
Yeah.
you're going to be a doctor or something. I just wanted to get into something I know. I want to do like business development and be out and about and making connections with people
That's
and
it.
keeping that up. So
Yeah.
when I found this opportunity, I think it's perfect for me.
I do too,
Yeah.
because a lot of the things you've done, I've watched you kind of over the years, and slowly but surely, it's like I see you in the office, but I don't really say nothing. I don't know who she is, and then, that must be Tom's assistant. I had no idea you was really kind of running the show in that part, and then now you moved over to being a licensed agent. What's kind of the difference in between the two for you?
Well, I started out being a licensed
Okay,
agent, so I've always
okay.
been licensed, and that's just I can talk to anybody. I can give you advice on insurance, or if you just call your client, because a lot of these companies, their business development or marketing person aren't licensed. So if you call them and ask questions, or if their clients do, they can't give you advice on it or answer any questions about the coverages or anything.
Gotcha.
But I can, and then I can also keep those connections.
So we meet you, and then we
Yeah.
actually get to work with you
with
as
me,
well.
yes.
I like it. So, speaking about home insurance, there's a lot of misconceptions regarding home insurance. We deal with it every day. I'm sure Nicole does
Stresses
too.
y'all out.
For those who don't know, what does it actually cover?
All of our is special policy, so it covers everything except for what's excluded. So if you had a fire loss or lightning or anything like that, we would pay to rebuild the home. All home insurance company does not cover flood insurance, so that's the major exclusion that comes from that.
Gotcha. With flood mitigation being a big topic in the city council race here in Virginia Beach, so while it may not be mandatory, especially in our areas, that's something that you guys always. How do you feel? Just kind of explain that whole thing with it, especially with all these new flood zones and things like that. What's kind of the difference between the new ones where it's not mandatory but maybe it's recommended?
Well, we're a coastal community, so
Yeah.
we're all in a flood zone, even
Yeah.
if you don't have to purchase it if you're buying a house. If you're in a high risk and you're getting a loan on the house when you're purchasing it, that mortgage company is going to require you to have flood insurance. A lot of it will help if you have an elevation certificate to shop around flood insurance, but right now we have private markets that don't require elevation certificates, so that helps out a lot. Another big thing is a lot of people, if they hear that they're in low risk, they automatically are like, I don't need flood insurance. 25% of all flood losses happen in a low risk because you just never know. You're just not required to have it, and then your house is not covered, your contents aren't covered if something happens, rise in water.
Man, that's crazy. So here's the part, and this is why I like working with you, because we obviously deal with a lot of first-time home buyers in our business, and lately we've seen a big shift to where those first-time home buyers are between the ages of 21 and 25.
Yeah.
And then when they're looking for insurance and I connect them with you and you're 21, it's like a match made in heaven. What would you say is the biggest piece of advice you would give to a first-time home buyer, looking to purchase home insurance?
Definitely shop it around. I always tell people to start with who you have your current auto insurance with, because you already trust them more than likely, and if you don't, then you probably need to shop your auto around too.
Mm-hmm.
But then reach out to an independent company like we are. We just went independent in July. So we have about 15 home insurance companies right now and a couple flood insurance. So we can just shop everything around for you, like Progressive, Travelers, Nationwide, and find the best company that's going to fit you.
Cool. So, and look, I know I can hear your phone buzzing right now. So I know somebody's hitting you up right now. So before you go, and I know you may not be able to disclose everything, but I'm sure y'all hear it all, because I've seen some stuff with my clients that's just been absolutely crazy. I guess what's one of the more interesting claims calls that you've ever taken,
Beyond like just high deductibles and stuff, because a lot of people just don't pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
I had a family member, actually, it's my uncle. His dog jumped up on the stove. He had a pizza box left on the stove. He went to the store, but his dog turned the stove on and burned his kitchen down.
Get out of here.
He comes home and he's like crawling through the house trying to find his dogs. He had 3 dogs. They were all outside, so everything was fine. But you just don't even know. You just left, anybody would probably leave something on the stove just not thinking about it. But then the dog turned it on. Your house is burning down.
That's crazy. You come back in the house on fire.
Yes.
Man. Well, Alyssa, I appreciate you stopping by as well. So, like I said, I hear you over there buzzing. I know you got to roll. But look, for any of you realtors in the area, real estate agents, when's the next Taco Tuesday? Are y'all still doing Taco Tuesday?
Well,
we
really
got COVID.
I know,
right?
I know. That was such a good
spot.
time.
Yeah.
I'll let you know when the next one is. We need to plan. We might do a party outside at like the Shack or something, so people aren't as COVID scared.
Let's do that. What's the best way for everybody to kind of get in touch with you over there at Clyburn?
The number is 757-490-2346. Clyburn Insurance is our website. And then same with Facebook and Instagram. Everything's just Clyburn Insurance.
Well, Alyssa, thanks so much.
Thank
you. We're going to have to catch up. We're going to have to get some chicken or something like that. So let's do it. Thanks so much. Coley Cole, where you at? Newest member to the team, Mrs. Judge.
Hello.
And how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. It's always a pleasure to see you. You always out and about, So for those of y'all who may not know, let's see, we got Nicole Bradley. Now we got Nicole Judge. So our original Nicole brought on our second Nicole. Yes. I just call her Cole though. So I got to be able to keep it all together. So how's everything going?
Everything has been good. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me see. Yes. We're about to wrap up a year in the business. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I may be off. It may be a little bit more. But what's that journey been like? Before we talk about the journey, actually, where did you even come from? How do we get into real estate?
Okay. Well, the journey actually began about 6 years ago when we first moved to Georgia. So we were looking into purchasing our first home, got a realtor through a different friend. And she's like, okay, I know this person. I'm going to hook you guys up with her. She's really good. So we go out looking at homes, and it started out good. We ended up finding a home in a new development. So we had our home built from the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, so, every day we would ride by. Oh, they're starting to pour the concrete now. Oh, yay. Next week we'll go by. Oh, the frame is up. Oh, wow. So I say a few weeks into us constantly doing drive-bys, we noticed that they were building the wrong home.
Get out of here.
Yes, building the wrong home.
Wow.
So, yes, we ended up speaking with our agent to let her know. And it was a mess. Let's just say there are not a lot of, how can I put it, people that have your best interest at heart.
Gotcha.
Even agent-wise, So we came across that issue, and we ended up getting our earnest money back for that home and finding a home somewhere else, which turned out really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so going through that, I told my husband, I said, well, we really don't like how that turned out. I was like, I could have done her job better.
Yeah.
He said, you know what? You could have. So why don't you look into becoming an agent?
I
I actually started taking real estate classes in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came time for me to take the test, I ran into like a few, little minor setbacks.
Yeah. We all come across them.
Yeah.
So how did y'all end up? So y'all were in Georgia. Y'all went through this thing with the house where they built clearly the wrong house.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you end up back in Virginia with us?
We're a military family.
Okay.
Yeah.
So military brought you back, and then you just said, let's go for it. Now, I know at one point you were working with a national franchise company in their business development, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if I can say the name, but yeah, I worked there for like almost 10 years.
Okay.
In the technology department. And so I wanted to do something different. That's how I got into real estate, having a bad experience with the realtors. And I love helping people. Yeah. So I was like, okay, let me try a different field. And
how did that transition go from being in that position with that company to now being in real estate? Were you able to bring any of it over to where it helps you today?
Definitely. As far as having that motivated drive, technology is a very, I'm not going to say difficult field, but it's a very challenging field.
It's ever evolving. It's constantly changing.
Always.
Yeah.
Same thing with real estate, always changing.
Gotcha. So, y'all know I got a big family, and we talked about this. I know when you first said it, and I was like, that ain't big. So let me see, y'all got one who's gone off to college now, and just kind of what's the family dynamic like? Because I know your husband is in the military, obviously military here.
Yeah, he's military. So altogether we have 7 kids.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got 6, y'all. So when she said that, I was like, I said, man, that ain't a lot. Anything over 4, it's all the same to me.
Yeah,
so
yeah, age from 4 to 20.
Yeah.
So yes.
So how's that dynamic been? With balancing the family, shifting goals from your former job to now being in real estate. How do you just put all that together and stay sane?
Well, good thing for us, we have 3 older daughters, so they're able to help us out a lot when it comes to the younger kids. And the challenging part was relocating from Georgia to Virginia.
Gotcha.
We're from Virginia, but we're from the south side. We moved to the peninsula.
Yeah.
So we don't have any help over there.
Yeah. Which is why, but I'll be honest, that's what attracted us to you, because we needed that presence over there, and Nicole recommended you, and we reached out, and obviously it's working out right now. So like I said, you jumped in, you hit the ground running, what kind of keeps you going every day?
Definitely my family, my children, my husband. They get me up 6:30 every morning, not just for school, but just to be the mother in the home to them. To, I have to be an example for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They see me get up, they want to get up. They see mom working, they want to work.
I like it.
They see me helping people, they want to help people.
I like it. So. It's kind of the same way we operate in our business. It's like that servant leader mentality. We're obviously there and putting our best foot forward for everyone else, but like you said, lead by example. Yes. So, well, anyway, y'all, we getting ready to get out of here because I know we got to go because our phones are constantly buzzing over here. Next time we're gonna make this a no phone zone. Can we put a sign up? Okay, we made this the no phone zone. So look, for those of y'all who are just maybe catching this for the first time, want to check out some of our old stuff, check us out. Look, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, kind of like MB, we do it the same way. We keep it all synonymous across the board at the Coastal Concierge Group, or check out our website, coastalconciergegroup.com. So look, if you guys are interested in being a guest on the show, or you have someone you want us to interview, leave us a comment, shoot us a DM, whatever it is. We'll catch y'all next month, man. Peace.
Peace.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out our latest episode of the podcast. Make sure you subscribe so you can catch all of our new episodes. If you want to go back and catch some of the old episodes, click the link.